It's 2 a.m. The room is perfectly dark. The mattress is comfortable, and you are exhausted. Your body is practically begging for rest. Yet, the moment you close your eyes, a sudden, uninvited rush of energy floods your brain. Suddenly, you are remembering an awkward conversation from 3 years ago, worrying about a deadline 3 weeks away, or questioning every major life choice you've ever made. You turn the pillow to the cool side, change positions, and check the clock, calculating exactly how many hours of sleep you'll get if you drop off right now. But the harder you try to force it, the wider awake you become. It feels like a cruel betrayal. Your body is a prison of fatigue, but your mind is running a marathon. Welcome to Mind Echo, exploring the psychology behind how we think, feel, and behave. Subscribe for deeper insights into the human mind. Let's begin. We live in an era where we have mastered comfort, yet we have compromised peace. We have sleep tracking apps, orthopedic mattresses, white noise machines, and blackout curtains. On paper, we are better equipped for rest than any generation in human history. And yet, millions of us lie awake every single night, staring at the ceiling, feeling a profound sense of isolation while the rest of the world seemingly sleeps. Think about how your day ends. You finish your chores, close your laptop, put away your phone, and turn off the lights. You expect sleep to be like a light switch, something you can simply flip when the day is done. But instead, the silence of the bedroom feels heavy. In the daytime, your mind is constantly occupied. You are answering emails, listening to podcasts, scrolling through social media, or talking to colleagues. Every single second of potential emptiness is filled with digital noise. But when the lights go out, the noise stops. And in that sudden, jarring quiet, everything you successfully avoided during the day comes rushing to the surface. It's the phantom weight of unexpressed emotions, unfinished thoughts, and unresolved anxieties. We blame our coffee, our screens, or our stress levels, but the truth is deeper and far more intimate. Sleep hasn't just become physically difficult, it has become psychologically terrifying. Because to fall asleep, we must first be alone with our own minds. To understand why our bedrooms have become psychological battlegrounds, we have to look at an ironic trick of human psychology known as ironic process theory. When you tell your brain, "I must fall asleep right now," your subconscious sets up a monitoring system to check if you are succeeding. But by constantly checking to see if you're asleep, your brain stays in a state of high alert. You're essentially using effort to try an effortless. It's like trying to force yourself to laugh at a joke that isn't funny. The very act of trying ruins the outcome. Furthermore, our modern brains are suffering from a profound confusion of space. In the past, the bed was a sanctuary meant only for rest. Today, it is a workplace, a cinema, a dining room, and a social hub. When you answer a stressful work email or scroll through an intense news feed while tucked under your duvet, your brain registers that environment not as a safe haven, but as a zone of performance and alertness. But the most significant psychological shift is how we handle our emotions. Throughout the day, when an uncomfortable feeling arises, loneliness, self-doubt, or regret, we instantly medicate it with distraction. We pick up our phones. This means we never actually process our feelings in real time. We just postpone them. Your subconscious mind is incredibly patient. It will happily wait until you are completely defenseless, lying in the dark, to hand you the emotional baggage you ignored at 2 p.m. Sleep difficulty isn't a malfunction of the brain, it's a desperate confrontation with the self. When we struggle to sleep, we often view it as a waste of time, a failure of productivity, or a medical issue to be fixed. But what if we shifted our perspective? The wakefulness you experience in the dead of night is not just an inconvenience, it is a mirror reflecting the state of your waking life.
It is the only time your mind finally gets to speak without being interrupted by notifications, responsibilities, or expectations. The sleepless night is a space where the illusions of control we maintain during the day completely dissolve. We realize that we cannot force our minds into submission. True rest requires a form of surrender that our modern, control-obsessed minds find incredibly difficult to practice. To fall asleep is to trust that the world will keep turning without your supervision for the next 8 hours. It requires letting go of the need to solve every problem, fix every mistake, and anticipate every future hurdle before sunrise. Perhaps the reason sleep has become so difficult in these days is because we have forgotten how to rest while we are awake. We live in a world that demands constant optimization, constant vigilance, and constant connection. We treat our minds like machines that can be run at maximum capacity until they are abruptly unplugged. But the mind is an ecosystem, and it requires periods of quiet reflection, boredom, and emotional processing throughout the daylight hours if it is ever to find peace in the dark. Ultimately, the battle for a good night's sleep isn't won in the bedroom. It is won in how we choose to live, think, and face ourselves during the day. Until we learn to sit with our thoughts when the sun is up, they will continue to demand our attention when the lights go out. Rest is not a reward for a perfectly optimized life. It is the natural byproduct of a mind that feels safe enough to let go. Are you actually having trouble falling asleep, or are you just afraid of who you become when the world goes quiet?